As you guys are probably aware, they have just dropped another superhero bloodline in the game named Ragnar. So just because they did that, I am going to be doing a superhero bloodline worst to best video. Now be sure to stick throughout this one because I'm going to be dropping a lot of facts and knowledge on you guys. So this may actually help you out in Shindo Life in general. So if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, but subscribe. Let's get right to the video, guys. Alright, so coming in 6th place is actually going to be Ghost Karashi right here. Ghost Karashi is going to be a very obvious 6th place bloodline. Now Ghost Karashi's moveset kind of revolves around having abilities that either stun or combo extend. Ghost Karashi is one of those bloodlines that has been kind of left in the dust just because all of the moves, they don't really work right now in the meta, just because, you know, they either have better versions of the moves are either have been just nerfed or just outright forgotten by Rellgames. This is just one of those bloodlines that got nerfed and it was honestly never touched again. That's just kind of the unfortunate result of Ghost Karashi, and it really is a shame because this bloodline for a while was one of the best due to the M1s actually not having any knockback. When that was added, this bloodline literally instantly became useless. Now the strengths of this bloodline are literally none. I'm being dead honest when I say that. This bloodline has 0 strengths. All of the moves have downsides to them. I'm being dead honest when I say that. This bloodline has 0 strengths whatsoever. Now the weaknesses is that it is extremely range locked. This is pretty much an only close ranged bloodline, and the only thing I could ever, you know, recommend using this for is maybe for movement. That's literally about it. The weaknesses is just like the moves are not good. The moves are not, you know, usable in a lot of different situations, and they're extremely range locked. The moves also have extremely high cooldowns for absolutely no reason, and Ghost Karashi is one of those very few bloodlines that I would recommend that you just stay away from. If you spin this bloodline, don't even think about it twice, just spin it away. I'm being dead serious when I say that. You'll be happy that I told you to do that. Now coming in 5th place is going to be the EKG actual Web. Now Web is of course going to be the Spider-Man based bloodline right here. Now this bloodline in general, it does have some really weird things about it. The first move will always fling you upwards after using it, so you can't air combo with it. The first move is borderline unusable in my opinion. If they fix the knockup thing afterwards, it would actually be good, but as it stands, it isn't. Now what is good about this is that the second move actually move stack. So I'm going to show you guys a basic combo here. I'm going to do the second move and then I'm going to use firework. The second move stacks that I just did 100,000 damage. It's literally free damage if you can get a block breaker off. That's kind of the best part of this. The third move is actually a traveling move, but it does, of course, take a lot of chi. They actually made it so it's not infinite anymore. It does actually take chi and all that stuff, but it is a pretty okay traveling move and all, you know, all words of the, you know, saying that it's good. But honestly, the main part of this that actually makes it good is the move stacking, because you can move stack any move with it. Any move works, and then, of course, it does actually have this move, which does work as well. Now, the strengths of Web are going to be, of course, it's a really good utility-based bloodline, but the weaknesses are going to be that it's a very bad standalone bloodline, and there are just better versions of the move. Alright, if you like the video right now, you get 60 million times luck spinning the new Ragnar bloodline in Shindo Life. It is completely true and valid. Mr. Doge says so. Now coming to 4th place is actually going to be Vengeance. Now Vengeance is going to be 4th place just because but Vengeance overall is a pretty okay bloodline. The moves mostly revolve around having combo extenders. Pretty much all the moves are either combo extenders, combo starters, mainly based around M1 combos in all honesty. Now even though all of the moves do have iframes, they do actually kind of get countered by people who know how to fight Vengeance. Pretty much if they know how to fight Vengeance, you're kind of just, you know, you're probably going to get stomped by the person that knows how to fight against Vengeance. It's one of those bloodlines that is super predictable in a lot of different ways. It's easy to block the moves and all that stuff. So the strengths of Vengeance is going to be that it's extremely easy to use. It is by far one of the easiest to use bloodlines in the game. It is for people that, you know, have skill issues. If you know you have a skill issue and you're fine with saying that, go ahead, get Vengeance. You know, nobody's stopping you. If you want to get Vengeance, you go right ahead. If you don't have a skill issue and you actually are decent at the game, you should probably use a different bloodline just because Vengeance is super predictable, and overall Vengeance is just kind of one of those bloodlines that it's amazing for noobs. So yeah, like I was saying, the strengths are that it's extremely easy to use, it has pretty okay combo extenders, and the cons are going to be that the moves overall are kind of just lackluster and very easy to counter. Now coming to 3rd place is going to be Van Helsing. It's Morbin time. Yes, this is the Morbius based bloodline, and fun fact, this is actually my favorite bloodline in the game right now, at least. Jaramaki, of course, would be my favorite because it is my bloodline, but there's just some small changes that need to happen to Jaramaki because right now it's borderline unusable as it stands. So I really hope those changes get get added. But with Van Helsing is currently my favorite bloodline in the game. You know, I'll just go through and explain it real quick because you guys probably don't see this bloodline like ever. I'm like one of the only people that actually use it. The first move is a stun move. It's actually a pretty good, you know, M1 combo extending move. That's literally what it is. People just use it to extend M1 combos in general. It's not that good right now in this meta just because you could sub out at 150,000. It was good when you could do a bunch of damage without them subbing out because that is exactly what it does. It does way more than 150k damage for its full potential. Now, the second move is, of course, going to be the best move of Van Helsing. It's going to be, you know, you go in the air, boom, slam it down on them, you know, do the little twerky dirk on them. But when it actually comes to the second move, the reason why it's the best is because it actually can start your M1 combos. It's a very skill-based move. It requires a lot of prediction. It requires a lot of, you know, actually thinking. So if you don't know, if you don't think, probably don't use this bloodline. The third move is pretty bad. It's on the iframe cooldown, so that's why I would recommend just not using it in general. But the third move, if you don't actually want to use an auto dodge, it's actually a pretty good combo extending move. It does a bit of damage, and you can actually, you know, it's a true extender. You can use something afterward. Now, the actual mode, this is where it gets a little bit finicky. People really like to use this mode for team fights just because the C spec has iframe. I don't really like the C spec because the C spec is the sort of thing that you need to immediately use another iframe afterwards. But if you want to iframe stack, it's an okay ability. The throwable is also yet another iframe ability. It actually has the potential to do a lot of damage. I mostly just use it for stalling out my cooldowns. That's kind of the smartest thing to do with it. As you guys already saw, the actual M1s are buffed. It does have a weapon spec, which is a dash into an air combo. So, you know, there's that. Now, the strengths of Van Helsing are going to be that it's an extremely good teamfighting bloodline just due to the massive amount of iframes it has. And the weakness is going to be that, you know, the abilities all are on some form of global cooldown. Now, coming to second place is going to be Ragnar. This is probably the bloodline that a lot of people are actually here for. Ragnar will be coming in second place. Now, I will be going into a little bit more detail with this just because the bloodline is new. You guys probably don't know that much about it. First of all, I will say this. The first move of Ragnar is an absolutely amazing block breaker. It stuns, it block breaks, it does, you know, a good amount of damage, and it's ranged. It's also instant, and the ability is actually uncancelable. So Ragnar first is by far the single best ability, Ragnar, hands down. It is an amazing ability. Now, the second ability is one that you could pretty much throw into a combo. You kind of just want to do a stun into the actual second move. Now, you can move stack with the second move, so it doesn't have any end lag at all, so you can actually move stack with it. So the amount of damage it does can actually be super helpful in a lot of different scenarios. Mainly talking about, you know, the second move just throwing it into any combo just to get a free 80k damage. Like, literally, you could do first move block break into second and just leave it like that. You don't even need to do anything afterwards. Just into second, heal, and that'll be pretty much the entire thing. Now, the third move of Ragnar is actually a counter. Now, I will say this counter is abysmal. It is doo-doo water. Anyone defending this counter, it should be ashamed of themselves, honestly. This counter, it's not a true stun. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this ability, this counter right here, it doesn't actually ragdoll stun them. It just slams their face into the ground. The actual stun comes from the hit stun of it. So if they use any traveling move, like Ember Entry away as the move is actually going off, or they use literally what he did. He used Snake Sage, and it didn't even work on him. This counter does not work against any movement ability, any ability that moves them whatsoever. It is completely useless again. Also, iframe abilities, you guys know that, you know, the weakness of Jinchiki and all that stuff. That applies for this too. It doesn't work against iframes. So yeah, just abysmal counter. Now the mode of Ragnar is also really bad in my opinion. I am gonna go ahead and just show the C spec. You could do this, boom, boom, boom. It does a bit of damage, and then you click. That's bad. I don't feel like I'm ready to explain why that's bad. I mean, the C spec, it's literally like a running. It doesn't have any iframes, and you're locked into doing it until you click. So in essence, it's just gonna be like a free like 40,000 damage if you throw it into a combo. And there are bloodline modes of the game that are a lot better than just the free 40k damage. Oh, I actually just used the second move. Now, the M1s are buffed. You know, there's nothing much to say about the M1s. It's just the free, you know, 77,000 damage. There's not much to say about it. The weapon spec is one of the, it's probably actually the best thing of the entire mode. It's literally just a Bruce Stomp. You made it into a mode weapon spec. So yeah, obviously the best ability is going to be the first one. The strengths are going to be that it has very high damage output. It has a really good block breaking move. The weaknesses is going to be terrible counter and terrible mode. Now, I will be throwing this in just because it is a superhero based thing. Captain Jokai, there actually is a Captain Jokai bloodline. If you guys aren't aware, it's just not available because it was like stupidly broken. But Captain Jokai is going to be an honorable mention for this list. It has pretty much infinite block. I mean, the M1s are buffed, but they knock them back super far. The Z spec is like, you know, a quick ragdoll stun ability. And then the actual weapon spec of this is just kind of like a shield throw ability. It does a bit of damage you can extend with it. It's really not that great of a mode. I just wanted to throw it into this list just because it is superhero based. By the way, guys, what was your favorite part of the new new update for type of cards below. We're checking them out. Now, coming in first place as the best superhero bloodline in the game is, of course, going to be Ramen Guy Shindai Ramen. Okay, that's a joke. It's obviously going to be Strange. This was an absolutely surprise to nobody. Strange, every single ability of Strange is good. Here, look, boom. Is that first ability into M1 combo into second ability? 200,000 damage instantly? Wow, it's almost like Strange itself is a block break, big giant stun, extremely good combo extender, absolutely massive M1 damage. Did I mention the weapon spec, which is also another iframe combo extender that does tons of damage? Oh, wait, I forgot to mention the Diosenko stun time stop attached with a block break, attached with an ability that heals you afterwards. And don't even get me started with the fact that you can fly with Strange. Like, I feel like this is an extremely busted bloodline. It does actually need nerfed. I'm sorry to say it. The bloodline needs nerfed. I mean, there's not much to say other than that. It does really need nerfs, but as it stands right now, it is the best superhero bloodline in the game. The strengths are literally that it has everything you would ever need in a bloodline. It has the single best mode in the game. It has a long stun, really good damage ability, a good block break, and the weakness is going to be that people generally don't really use the moves just because the actual moves are better versions, but that doesn't mean the moves are bad. They're extremely good. Anyways, guys, that's me for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe. Hopefully see you next time, guys.